Exactly. Get the fuck out of there if shit goes bad. Mm. mm. Oh man, sorry to hear that, man. You're making me grateful though that I don't have to be a slave. I thought you stopped working, man, but hopefully that passes by quick, man. You can watch it later when I'm done though. Dunzo. I hate I hated fucking job interviews. Yeah, it's like I said in a community post, you have to prove to yourself why you should work for a company when you never even wanted to be born. Really? Hmm. I haven't worked in I haven't worked at least since the end of 2019. So I've survived on pretty much £300 a month since then, man. I don't plan on working ever. Hopefully I die before I'm 30, you know? But yeah. Can't you just get on government money or is it too little? I don't know. In the UK though they don't give a fuck. I'll be on this shit until I die, hopefully, man. That's my plan. Hopefully. I don't want to wage slave for decades and shit, man. It's pathetic. No, I haven't worked. Actually, maybe I have. Maybe I've done like a few warehouse days in 2021, maybe. But probably for like a week this entire decade I've worked. That's it. I'll see you later, man. Hi, everybody. Now, where's the real people and not the trolls? My channel is about not having kids because that is selfish and evil. That's what it's about. Are you 10 years old? I think so. Hmm. Hmm. Right here. Right here. cat lady. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, who doesn't like cats? I need to chill out. I understand, but I need to chill. Hmm. 'Let's wait till someone starts chatting. What's up? 11 a.m. Same here in London. Same time. Oh, fair enough. Hopefully, you're an antinatalist, I guess. That's what my channel's about. But I'll talk about anything on a live stream. Talk about anything. Huh, huh. Uh, uh, uh. My channel is about antinatalism, a philosophy that says having kids is wrong and selfish. Do you agree? No way, you have 6 kids. Are you trolling? Lol. Uh, Maybe you're telling the truth. Why did you have so many kids though? Okay. You know that having kids is selfish, right? I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything in this stream. What's up, man? Don't know what flag that is. I think it's from, I don't know, South America. That's good that you had your tubes tied. But still, 6 kids, that is very selfish, you know? Not gonna lie. How old are your kids? Are they grown up or are they still children? Well, I'd say it's morally irresponsible to have even one kid, honestly, but hopefully you give those kids the best life possible. Well, everybody is forced into this existence, you know? No one gets to say no. I wish I wasn't born, suffering. Oh, Uzbekistan. Oh, okay. I didn't know the flag. Holy shit. So you had kids in 20 years if you're real. Damn, that's crazy. If that's true, I guess. Damn. At least you didn't have seven, but still, that's very selfish to be honest with you, you know? None of those kids asked to be born, you know? Yeah. I don't want to have kids, obviously. I wish I wasn't born. I never asked to be born. I never consented. Yeah, but you forced six people into this life, so that's crazy. Wait, why do you disagree? Hmm. Nope, I did not choose to be born. That's not true. I mean, that is true. I didn't choose to be here. Why would I choose to be in a world so evil like this one? I don't believe that. I didn't choose. If I chose to be born, I would have been Drake's son, you know? No, I didn't. I didn't know I would have this life. That's a lie. That's not true. Nope, I didn't. No, I didn't. Does someone choose to get murdered? No, they don't. Are you saying that? If you're not a troll, I mean that's crazy. Nope, I did not choose to be born, I'm telling you that much. There's nothing you could say that will change my mind, but fair enough. Human beings cause so much suffering to each other. I hope your kids have a good life, but there's no guarantee they will, especially if you're not wealthy, you know? Mm. Yeah, but that's selfish, having kids for joy. Can't you see how that's selfish? You're doing that to make you happy, you know? That's selfish. You would obviously disagree with that, but it's selfish. You're having a little kid to make you happy, you know? You're not doing it for the kid, you're doing it for yourself, you know? So why did you have children then? Didn't you want children? Lol. So why did you have children then if you didn't want them? That doesn't make sense. So you just had children to prove the doctor's wrong? That's selfish, honestly. Uh, okay. Okay. Kind of confused. So why didn't you get any abortions? I don't know. Why do you have six children? How can an abortion kill you? I don't think it can. How can an abortion kill someone? Kill a woman, I mean. Nah, I'm single. You're a dude though, aren't you? I'm not interested. I'm not gay, man. I don't understand if you was told that and you still had six kids. Like, that's crazy. What's a fact of life? Dickhead. I don't understand. Maybe I don't understand what you're saying. Maybe abortions can kill. I don't know. Lol. Unfortunately, there's no way to do that on YouTube. Hopefully, you're real though. You're not trolling. Lol. Yeah. Six kids. That's crazy. So you obviously you don't believe that it would be better to never be born, right? I do. What's wrong with never being born? You would never suffer. You would never die. You wouldn't miss out on anything good because you don't exist. You know. I wish I was never born. Life is painful and suffering. This world is evil. You know. That's just the truth. Yeah, but I wouldn't exist, so I wouldn't need to grow. I wouldn't need to do anything. What's wrong with that? You know. I wish I wasn't born. You would never learn what is good or what is evil. I wouldn't need to because I wouldn't exist. Yeah, I only have to now because I exist because I never asked to be born. I never consented to be born. I got forced to by my parents, you know? I didn't want to be born. If I had a choice, I would say no. I don't know if I'm more than just a body. I don't know. No, I didn't. I did not choose anything, but you can believe that if you want, but I did not choose shit. No, I didn't. If I could have chosen, I would have chosen to be born to rich parents, not my fucking loser parents, you know? Just average parents. No, life sucks, but I'm not here to convince you of anything. I'm just I'm just not gonna sugarcoat anything here. Yeah, but money greatly affects a person's life, you know? If someone has a rich parents, they're never gonna struggle or live in a bad neighborhood or so many other bad things, you know? Money matters. Yeah, I'm not sugarcoating my views, you know? We can agree to disagree. Yeah, rich people struggle mentally, but physically they don't struggle as much as average or poor people. Most people are just average and they still have kids. Not every rich person loses their wealth, but yeah, it happens. I don't need material possessions. No, no, having kids is selfish. Kid didn't ask to be born. That's selfish. I don't buy expensive things anyways. I'm broke. I'm minimalist. I'm not trying to push anything on anyone. I'm just speaking the truth, you know? The truth is, this world is a terrible, evil place, and no one asked to be born here, you know? If you don't want to agree with that, no problem, you know? That's just the truth. The truth is not happy. I wish it was, but it's just not, you know? That's my truth. I don't know. What is the world's truth then? Maybe that's true, but it is a fact that no one asked to be born. You obviously disagree with that, but that is a fact. I didn't ask to be born. And it's a fact that everyone's gonna die, you know? Dying is painful, so it's better to never be born, you know? I'll say that much. I know I can't convince you of that, but that's okay. I'm not trying to convince you. Long. I'm not gonna bring any kids here to suffer for nothing. They will never be born and they will be free forever. They're so lucky. Life is suffering. Life is gradual degradation of the flesh suit. You always have to bathe and clean yourself, you know, and brush your teeth and whatever. Otherwise, you'll smell. The flesh suit needs to be cleaned. That's what this life is. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That's not what this channel is about. This channel is about the truth. No one asked to be born, you know? If people can't handle the truth, they don't have to watch. Well, that's good that you overcame hardships in your life, I guess. My life has been hard too. But I mean, there's no benefit to suffering, you know? There's no benefit to going through traumatic shit and terrible things in life. There's no benefit to that. It's better to not go through that. It's better to never be born, you know? We're talking about antinatalism, man. Yeah, not all death is painful, but most of it is, you know. Most people don't get euthanasia, they die in pain, you know. Most people don't die in their sleep. I don't want to die like that. Yeah, I see things from my point of view too. I disagree with you, but fair enough. That's a lot. That's a big family. I'm scared of death. No, I'm scared of dying. That's going to be painful. But death, I'll be happy when I'm dead. Won't be suffering. I'm scared of life. That's what I'm scared of. I never chose life. Life is where you're going to suffer, not death, you know? Yeah, but nothing's changing for me in my life. My life is shit. And it probably always will be. So my view will never change, you know? But it's true, everyone's going to die. So I just see life as a futile thing that I never wanted. You can disagree with that, and I know you will, because you have 6 kids, so you wouldn't agree with that, obviously. But life is pointless, you know? It's pointless. I never wanted to be in this pathetic, evil, garbage world. It's useless, you know? You probably shouldn't be watching my channel if you have kids. I'm not restraining myself. Life is a restraint by itself. Life is pathetic. Nope. I don't attract what I want. I don't believe in that. But fair enough. Life is just luck. You're either unlucky or you're lucky, you know? You can work for things, but it's no guarantee you'll get it. You're a woman, so you probably won't know how hard it is to be a guy. But yeah, women have it easier in life than men, anyways, for the most part. Or in a lot of ways, they do. I wish life was better. Yeah, I'm stuck in this life that I never wanted. My parents forced me here. You're not gonna change my mind, but fair enough. I don't care about this life anymore. You know, I never wanted it. It's true though. Women have it easier than men. I don't see how that's offensive. It's true for the most part. I'm not sexist. How am I sexist? No, I like women. I like women more than dudes. Dudes are violent and aggressive and jealous. Okay, I don't know what you're getting at. This is funny. Mm, life is a curse. You don't seem to agree with that. That's why we are butting heads right now, I guess. That's okay. I'm not here to convince you of anything, and you're not going to convince me of anything. Exactly. Antinatalism is the truth, man. Exactly. Being exactly dead is better than the living. Exactly. Life is just pointless suffering for nothing. For nothing. Right now, my neighbor's being a fucking dickhead, and I can hear his music blasting. What's the point of that suffering? Nothing. I don't get any benefit from it. It's pointless. You know. I'm probably gonna have to leave because it's so fucking noisy. Probably. And annoying. That's the thing. You're right. Life is suffering. We were born to literally suffer. There's a limit to how much pleasure you can have, but there's no limit to the amount of suffering you can feel in your body. No limit at all. Life is suffering, so what is the point in having kids? Obviously, you'll disagree because you have six kids, but yeah, mm, guess the chat died. Did it? Yeah. I need to go outside anyways. My neighbor's being a fucking useless dickhead. I need to go, I think. Well, yeah, it is selfish. You don't get it. You force them into this life. Come on, they didn't ask to be born. I fucking hate my parents for forcing me here. What if your kids grow up to hate and resent you, for example, because you forced them into this evil life and they go through terrible things, you know? Are you gonna blame that? Are you gonna blame the kid for that? Please don't say you will, because it's your fault, you know? No, selfish is spawning. Being unselfish is not spawning in the first place. I can see how you would never agree with that. There's no responsibility. You don't need to have kids. Who told you that you should have kids? It's better to not have kids and not force somebody here who might hate this life. Then that's their choice. Yeah, but you're not giving them a choice. You're just forcing them into this life. I can see how whatever I say is going to be pointless anyways. You already have six kids, so I'm wasting my breath, honestly. I haven't made any bad choices. I haven't hurt anybody. People have hurt me though, and they've gotten away with it. You know, it's pointless this life. I never wanted to be born. What do you mean right now? Right now, I'm just complaining, not hurting anybody. I can complain all I want because I never asked to be born. Well, it's still my parents' fault that I've suffered in this life for nothing. Whose fault is it? God? Fuck God, he don't exist. Hmm. Make your choice to heal and grow. I would if I could, but this life is trash, you know? I wish I could, but it's just trash. You know? Fuck this life. That's my attitude. Yeah, exactly. Life is pain, man. Wish I could, but life sucks, you know? No, I don't. I wish my life was better. I wish I had a girlfriend, or I wish I didn't go through terrible things for nothing, or I wish I didn't have annoying neighbors or whatever. But I do, unfortunately. All those things are true. I didn't choose this life and I didn't choose my circumstances. I wouldn't have chosen this bullshit. So, yeah, whatever I say doesn't matter because I already know the truth, you know? It's not always what you make it. So if someone gets murdered, is that what they made it? No, it isn't. They didn't want to be murdered, you know? That's not someone's choice. Hmm. Okay. I am going to get out of here. This shit is pissing me off. Why would I go? I mean, not being rude, but why would I go in another country? I'm broke anyways, you know? I don't care about this world. I don't care about traveling or anything like that. It's all pointless to me, at least. If it's not pointless to you, no problem with that, but I don't give a shit about it. Our lives are impacted by host. How is murder normal? Are you justifying murder right now? That is unjustifiable. Come on. Humans do unjustifiable things all the time. Don't tell me you're trying to justify murder right now. That is unacceptable. Come on, man. Human beings are pathetic. What would you do if your kid was murdered? You know, what would you say then? You know, human beings are evil, man. You can't control them. You know, I thought you said murder was normal. Maybe I was wrong. Or it's almost like he was justifying murder. You know, can't justify the things human beings do. They're pathetic and evil. You know, it's insane to bring kids into a world this fucking evil. You know, that's just insanity. That's just guaranteed suffering at some point. I wish more people were amazing, but from my experience, human beings are either indifferent or evil, you know? There's not that many good people in this world. The best person is someone who doesn't force someone here to suffer for no reason. Okay, I need to get the fuck out of here, I guess. Unfortunately. Fucking neighbors being a fucking cunt. Yeah, I'm not putting up with this anymore. You see, life is just things you gotta put up with, man. If you don't have to put up with anything, you're just lucky, you know? You're just lucky. I wish I wasn't fucking born for this bullshit. Things in perspective. Well, human beings don't do that because they hurt each other and they kill each other and all this shit, you know? It's better to never be born, but I will never convince you of that, so why am I even wasting my breath? I don't know. Hold on a sec. If anyone's typing, I gotta feed my cat. fair enough. But human beings ain't interested in growing, you know? Maybe some of them are, but a lot of them are just evil, you know? So yeah, I don't know what else to say. Hopefully someone else comes in the chat, I don't know. Hold on a sec, I gotta take a piss, man. Hey Shay. Ugh. I don't know if I'll go. If I need to, then I will. I hate fucking noisy neighbors, man. You don't know if they're gonna be noisy or not. Exactly. Every reason to have a kid is selfish. That person, be nice and have a chat, had 6 kids, man. That's crazy. No wonder they disagree with everything I was saying. Noisy neighbors suck dick. That's what I'm telling you. Human beings are annoying and evil. They're failed abortions. No, I don't know what it's like for women to get sterilized, but it's selfish to have kids in the first place. Okay? You had a choice to have kids or not. You didn't have to do it. You only made your life harder by having kids. You know? Why would you even? It's just a burden. And there's no guarantee they'll even like you for having them. You know? I hate my parents. Not having children, you forced them into this evil world that they never consented to be in. That's what you did. You know, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I don't sugarcoat it on this channel. You know? That's the truth. The truth. I have to leave, I fucking will. No, it's selfish, not selfless. It's selfish. You'll never understand that though, but that's okay. I'm not trying to convince you. Having kids is the most selfish thing ever, not selfless. It's selfless to not force them here, but people are so brainwashed or whatever, you know? I'm not trying to convince anybody anymore. That's a losing game. I just laugh at this shit, man. Well, yeah, your kids don't owe you anything. All your money for you. But when you pass on, are you gonna give your kids your money? You better, right? That's selfish if you don't. You owe them that. Your kids don't owe you anything. But you wouldn't see it that way, obviously. Yeah, you might as well laugh. Exactly. So why did you even have kids anyways if you're broke? That's even worse. Now they're gonna have to slave away for nothing, you know? Why? What is the point? It makes no sense, bro. I think I'm talking to an NPC right now. Oh. Okay, what is wealth then? There's different types of wealth: financial wealth, emotional wealth, physical wealth. I'm talking about financial wealth. Money. Money, 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 money. Yeah, but they will slave away at a job. Everybody does that. Come on, that's what human beings do in this world. They slave away for money to survive in the world they never wanted to be in. That's what this world is, unless you're rich, you know. That's what this pathetic world is. What else do people do in this world? I'm talking about financial wealth. If you want to talk about emotional wealth, okay then. Yeah, but most people are going to slave majority of their lives. You can't expect people to just be happy with that, you know? Having kids, you're just expecting them to be happy with this life. That's selfish. No, people in the society are programmed to fucking have kids, man, and think this life is happy. I'm saying everything that's the opposite of that. So you can't really say I'm programmed, you know? Yeah, we slave away. Not everyone's gonna want to do that, you know? Lol. Not everyone can make choices that will make them happy because they don't have money or they don't have they have chronic pain or whatever. They have a mental disorder, you know? Not everyone's the same. Some people hate. Some people are born in pain from the day they're born. Exactly, that's true. I agree with you. People are programmed to make money because they're slaves and their parents are broke too. What is the point in continuing this pointless cycle? Lol. No, it's not always what you make it. You can't control what's going to happen to you in this life. Life throws curveballs, man. You can't control what's going to happen to you next year or next week. You can't. No, you can't, unfortunately. It's better to not be born at all, but whatever. It's like I'm. Whatever. Well, yeah, you're lucky, I guess. I'm not talking about men, I'm talking about children. You forced children to come here, you know? That was your choice. Breeders never take responsibility, guys. They never apologize to their kids for bringing them into this world. They never do that, guys, you know? Because they're lame. I'm starting to think this is a troll. I don't know. Maybe I've been trolled the entire time. Maybe. Maybe. People are evil. I'm not crying about it. I'm saying the truth. I'm not crying. Maybe this is a troll. I really don't know anymore. Well, this life is a troll, anyways. Really, you apologize to your kids for forcing them into this evil world? I doubt that. I doubt that. My parents didn't apologize and they never will. I doubt that. I don't even know if this is a real person anymore. It might just be trolling me, try and get a reaction. Maybe it's the rat. Who knows? Maybe it's him. I don't know. I don't get how you was forced into having kids unless you can be, the R word, RAPED. You know, is that what happened? Other than that, you can't really be forced to having kids. You know. Hmm. Okay, maybe you're not trolling. I don't know. A lot of trolls on the internet. You know. I'm skeptical. That's not your fault. The internet is full of trolls. Yeah, I didn't choose my parents. That's why. If it is rape, then I'm sorry to hear that. I guess. Okay. If that's true, then sorry to hear that. Oh, sorry to hear that. Yeah, but was that second one the rape word? If it wasn't rape, then you didn't. You had a choice to not have a kid. You know. Oh, I don't know. Yes, you admit that you chose to have the second kid. You didn't have to have that kid. You know. They wouldn't have ever suffered or anything. You know. They wouldn't have been hit or anything if you didn't have the kid. You know. Fair enough. Every parent always talks so highly of their kids, though, when their kid could be a terrible person. I'm not saying your kid's a terrible person, but that's what parents do. That's what natalists do, guys, and breeders. You know, they think their kid is the best kid in the world. Yeah, I don't know why you had more children after the third one. Then, you know, most people don't have that many kids. of selfish to have kids, you know? Whew. Hopefully someone else comes in the chat. I don't just want to talk to natalists, man. I'm going crazy talking to natalists. Uh, oh, doesn't sound good. Fair enough. What's done is done. You've had kids. There's nothing to say, you know? I disagree with having kids, but hopefully you give them the best life. Hopefully they don't suffer at all. But they probably will because this world is evil. That's all I can say, you know? Oh, okay. But that's crazy though. 6 kids. I'm pretty sure you didn't plan to have 6 kids. It just happened. Like, that's crazy. Maybe you should have been sterilized before, you know? There's so many kids. It's crazy. That is a lot of unprotected sex, you know? Like, damn. That's crazy. Uh, okay. Well, if they refused, do you think you would have had a 7th kid or an 8th kid? Do you think it would have just kept going? Like, that's crazy. Why was you having so much unprotected sex? Couldn't you tell your man to get a vasectomy or something? You know? That's easier than getting your tubes tied, you know? If I was with a girl and I was having sex regularly, I would definitely get a vasectomy. I'm not forcing anyone here. Never. You're allergic to condoms. Really? I'm confused. What? How can someone be allergic to fucking condoms? What the fuck? Yeah, I agree, helping emotions. Hmm. I'm confused how you can be allergic. Oh, latex. You're allergic to latex. Uh, okay, maybe that's true, I guess. Hmm. I never knew about that. Pregnancy is definitely dangerous, though, helping emotions. Really? That is disgusting, if that's true, I guess. Hmm. If that's true, that's disgusting. Uh, hmm. There had to be some way, though. Couldn't you just tell your man to get a vasectomy, like I said? That would have been a lot easier than getting your tubes tied, you know? That's crazy. 6 kids, I mean, that's freaking crazy, you know? That's like that's like half of a school classroom right there, you know? Yeah, but still, it's crazy though. He had 6 kids. Men should get a vasectomy, not the pill. I don't know what you mean by the pill. Should get a vasectomy. That's easier than getting your tubes tied, honestly. But that's crazy though. So he didn't choose to get a vasectomy. Damn, that's still crazy though. 6 kids. Fair enough. That's crazy. Mm. I mean, you're probably not lying. You're probably telling the truth. You do love your kids, but in all facts, it was selfish to have kids in the first place. Even though you just explained why you have 6 kids, you know. Yeah, I would care though. If I had a girlfriend, I would get a vasectomy, man. It's easier than women getting their tubes tied, you know? I wouldn't be scared because there's I would be more scared of having a kid, you know? If that was me, but that's just me. I would do that shit. Oh, hmm. That's crazy. I guess I understand now why you had so many kids, I guess. Nah, I guess I believe you, I guess. Damn though. Hmm. Oh, I understand. I would never reverse it, but fair enough. Hmm. Well, at least you explained it, I guess. I appreciate the explanation, I guess. Not every man thinks. I do. I would never have a kid. Yeah, I appreciate your conversation, I guess. Even if we disagree on things. Yeah, I'm gonna go outside, man. Neighbors being a prick is a fucking failed abortion. Okay. Women don't think sometimes too. Human beings don't think. They just act, you know? That's why there's over 8 billion people on this planet. That's why humans do evil shit all the time. Shit that hurts other people, man. Because they don't think, they just act. No, trust me, I do a lot of thinking. I think so much that I know I would never have kids. That's how much thinking I do. A lot. Yeah, I hate typos too. Looks like I'm gonna have to get the fuck out of there. Nigger. Nigger. Nah, it's okay, don't worry. I'm used to getting the fuck out of here from these annoying cunt neighbors. I need to get used to it. They're big cunts. I'm going. Yeah, good conversation. You planning to go now? I don't know. I'll probably be live for another 50 minutes. I'll just chat to whoever talks, you know? I'm sure I got everything. What, you was born in America? I was born in London. Still here. Check, I got everything again. Well, yeah, neighbors are annoying. My neighbors are cunts. They just blast music and shit. It's annoying as fuck. I wish I had no neighbors. Oh, fair enough. gotta go, you know? Fair enough. I think you need like 50 subscribers to go live on YouTube. It doesn't take that many. So yeah. Mhm. 31. Oh, you're 31 subscribers. Fair enough. Were you making videos? You could just make videos about 6 kids. You'll get a lot of views. Uh, there's a family in Britain with like, I don't know, 10 kids. Now that's a lot. That's crazy. Fair enough. Well, what do you make videos about? Anything? I don't know.
Summertime. That's how old my feeling is right.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. I appreciate it, yes. Even though we disagree on things, I'll chat to anyone as long as they're not a troll or whatever, you know? I'm bored. Hmm. Yeah, I don't sugarcoat anything either. We can say whatever we want on the internet, you know? I only speak the truth. Mm. Maybe I'll end the live now, to be honest, but thanks for chatting, though. Maybe I'll see you again if you're still there. Yeah, London sucks. It's bad. Yeah, you too. Have a good day as well. Peace out, everybody.